Hello, friends and family, and welcome to the 2023 Champions Cup, presented by Bushnell. We are here at the International Disc Golf Center in Appling, Georgia, playing at one of my favorite courses, W.R. Jackson, and this is our first major of the year. I'm Holly Finley.
And I'm Connor O'Reilly, and I'm super excited to be here in the woods. I think this course is generally thought of as one of the most popular courses for all the touring players. Just super fun to play here on this well beat-in wooded track that has a lot of ceiling for you to work with. You can get creative and play some awesome lines out here. Plus, this is a major, you guys, first of the season.
On our card today, we will have world champion Catrina Allen, two-time world champion to be exact. Also, we will have Ohn Scoggins, known as one of the best putters on tour, men and women.
Third on the card, we will have Kristin Tattar, battled for the win here last year, coming back looking for a vengeance, and Missy Gannon rounded out the card. We really have a star-studded card here. Should be some highlights and some really solid play.
Hole 1, a really great starting hole, a par 4, 660 feet, 2 gaps off the tee. Got the left side turnover or this straight one where you hope to get past this stump with a lazy hyzer landing somewhere in the middle of the fairway. That should give you another choice in gaps, shooting all the way up to the green, hopefully getting a 3 to start your round off strong.
For the 937
Yeah, this one actually plays the same MPO or FPO.
Box, from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, two-time world champion, Catrina Allen.
Now, I feel like this is one of those tee shots. Obviously, you have two different options. If you're a player who likes to kind of drag the disc over flat, or if you're a player who likes to throw a hyzer, I think you can choose either of the two gaps to kind of find a rhythm for the rest of the course.
Next up, from Los Angeles, California, Ohn Scoggins.
We've had the pleasure of watching Ohn a couple times this year, and her game plan is very simple. A lot of destroyer shots here and there, a rock, a pig, and some amazing putts.
It's a great spot to be, right by that stump.
From Pärnu, Estonia, the reigning world champion, Kristin Tattar.
I feel like Kristin's really been finding a rhythm with that forehand again. Let's see how much she plays forehand versus backhand on a course like this.
That's kind of, I'd say, the common error in the turnover line, just ending up in that right corner.
And from Beacon, New York, Missy Gannon.
Yeah, Kristin playing the most aggressive line so far, going distance driver, ripping over on that Grace, trying to really get up there, but gonna have a bit of work to do.
Missy also using the turnover line, and clipping that tree helped her, otherwise she might have been on the fringe there. Having a run up for your second shot is really crucial in trying to get up and down for a birdie, op, and even par.
Solid recovery shot there from Missy. Going to be an easy par, and who knows, it's hard to count her out when she's anywhere near the basket. Kristin had a bit more than I expected over there.
They've really cleared out the course a lot since the last time we were here. Areas that used to be unplayable are now actually little landing zones.
Yeah, they made it easier for the spectating, and also just it's easier to navigate as a player, less stuff to trip on, more lanes to run up and throw in.
Ohn with that familiar flex shot. She'll be up there putting for birdie.
I'm digging Catrina's white and green vibes.
I was just thinking, what a great outfit she has. And the hair bow to match. This is Missy's third shot.
Looked like a soul there, understable mid-range, just playing kind of a touch catch shot almost.
Did you notice Catrina's shirt almost looks reversible?
I was
It
about to
has
say,
like
buttons in the back.
a collar on the back, and then, yeah, the button up on the back.
And the fancy little sleeves too. She's really busting out the fit for the first major of the year.
Nice routine upshot for Tattar. This is Scoggins for birdie on hole 1. Solid start.
Wow. Great pickup for Ohn. Really maxing out that forehand twice and capitalizing on a long putt.
Strong putt for Missy. She'll walk away with a par here on the first.
And at .32 over par, hole 1 actually played as the second hardest hole on the course today.
It's a great starting hole.
Yeah, I really like it. Gives you variety off the tee, but still a good challenge and fair and repeatable if you hit your line.
I like it because if you want, you can get a full pump off the tee. Or, you know, be a little conservative and try to do more of a placement shot. The only birdie of the first goes to Ohn Scoggins. Pars for the rest.
Hole 2. It's a long par 3 at 390 feet. There are kind of two gaps once you get halfway down this fairway, but for the most part, this right side is the only one you'll be seeing chosen. Really got to hit something nice and flat, push it through this gap, try to clear this creek and get some skippy ground play. At 390, it's going to be quite a pump to get there. Circle's edge will be a great look, especially because you kind of have to throw a hyzer out of the hand.
Say the FPO division in the past, the main goal was to get past the ditch, and now we're trying to get a birdie. It's fun to see how much the players have progressed over the years. I've been playing this course since I feel like 2013. Catrina well over the ditch. The flare skip helped, and she'll be putting for birdie right at circle's edge.
Yeah, I feel like to be controlled and try to get this one repeatably, that circle's edge look is going to be a good one. I think trying to press too hard on this one will make the gap a little harder, and it looks like Kristin kind of does that.
Common error. You said it's a hyzer out of the hand, and if you throw flat, that's exactly what happens. It just leaks right into that right corner. But like that other right corner she landed in, they've cleaned that one up, so it might not be too obstructed for her over there.
Yeah, when you get in the woods, that forehand backhand combo really helps in those scrambling situations, just to give you as many options as possible. And Missy just clears the creek there. Going to be an easy up and down. Oh yeah, twice in a row. Kristin looked like she was going to be kind of in jail and pretty wide open, nothing impeding on her swing. Ohn throwing Maybe Firebird busting out a disc that I don't know we've seen her really throw this year on coverage yet. Finally found that in-between range.
Gannon for birdie.
Yeah, you could tell she tried to give that one a bit as much those legs she got into it, but just not quite the height.
Ooh.
Just shy here for Catrina. Kristin once again able to skate away with a par after 2 misfires. Could be kind of a good omen for her. The course is going to be giving her some good stuff. It's going to make it a lot easier to make par your mistakes.
Hole 2 is a tough birdie.
Yeah, hole 2 played just over par. Hard to birdie, but also seemed like there weren't too many bogeys.
Missy taking the risk.
Welcome back to hole 3, par 4, 594 feet. A couple of different options off the tee. If you're feeling conservative, do a little chip shot, land right here at the opening. If you're feeling aggressive, you can do a turnover, try to bleed into that gap and make your second shot that much shorter. If you can see the line, send your second shot all the way around hyzer preferably, get a little flare skip, land in the circle, and get yourself a birdie 3. Tee shot is crucial here. If you land out of position, you are scrambling for par. But like a lot of the other holes, they've removed a lot of the trees, so this course just doesn't play as hard as it used to.
Yeah, Ohn just barely pushes it too long there. Catrina kind of inside on that forehand.
She'll have some shot shaping to do.
Kristin looks like this is a good line out of the hand.
Oh, just a little short. That should be good enough for possibly birdie, depending on if she can see a line to the basket. Gets a little congested. Missy looking at that turnover line. Oh, that was more of a placement shot. I thought she was going to go for a high turnover. That's a perfect position for Missy. She could get a 3 from there.
And running it back to hole 2, only the big bombers were able to reach it. We saw 4 birdies: Holland Hanley, Emily Beach, Kat Mersch, and Paige Pierce.
All of those girls easily pumping 420 plus on 420.
Oh yeah.
This is Kristin's second shot. Oh, she's actually lined up nicely. If she can hit a gap, she could get all the way there.
Ooh, just narrowly avoids that tree. That would have really stolen about 70 feet of distance from her and creeps into the circle. See if she can capitalize for her first birdie of the round.
I just love this hole. I love the tee shot, and then the up shot is fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. This is the first hole where MPO, FPO play separate, and I think it's good. It's a good hole from both tee pads.
Missy gets caught up, so she'll have a long putt at birdie. Not sure if she'll want to go for that. It appears that Ohn will be playing for par here on hole 3. She's so good at that.
Yeah, super good balance and athleticism out of Catrina on those type of shots. Ohn with that same approach disc.
Long look at birdie. That'll be a drop-in par for Missy.
Ooh, Kristin just puts enough on that one to crawl over the left side rim. Hole 3 is definitely a good birdie to pick up. Played as the third hardest hole on the course today.
Really? That's surprising to me. Good putt out of Catrina Allen.
We actually only saw 2 birdies on the day for hole 3. You saw one there with Kristin Tattar and Deanne Carey also picking it up.
Yeah, D. I'm playing with Deanne tomorrow. Par for Ohn. You can see Austin Hannum caddying for Catrina there, wearing the special caddy bib they gave us for this PDGA major.
Looking sharp, Austin. 327 feet here on hole 4. This par 3 forces you to play a very specific shot. There's really no options here. You gotta play a hyzer out of the hand for a right-hand backhand player. Probably some kind of overstable fairway driver looking to skip right around here and kind of just knife through this last group of trees coming into the green to give yourself a circle 1 birdie putt.
That's really the biggest error on this hole, just hitting those trees straight ahead and not getting that left finish. And that kind of eliminates a birdie putt unless you want to go for a 50 or 60 footer.
Better angle out of Ohn.
It is.
And she's gonna get a great skip right there.
Perfect shot. Just right inside those trees Kristin hit. Okay, Catrina's disc matches her outfit.
Yeah, it really just fits the skip shot so well. I think airing it there makes it really easy to push this one long. The way the skip just curls up a little further left, though, I think really plays to the advantage on this hole.
Oh, Gannon hitting that same set of trees. Ooh, trick shot time.
And WR creating some creativity like the Woods always do.
That's the pine cone's fault. Did you see it?
I
It
did not,
landed
but I
on a
believe it.
pine cone, and that's what messed up its trajectory. It's another long one out of Missy. Looks like she's just kind of pitching it up there.
Now I got a bone to pick with these pine cones and our rule that we're emphasizing, especially at this event, it seems like, about not being able to clear stuff out of your runway, only out of your direct lie. I feel like if we're not going to come groom some stuff like this out of the fairway, do we need to punish shots based off of one person being in the fairway and one person being right next to them, but the pine cones happen to fall in front of this one person's, but not the others? I don't know. Let us know in the comments how you feel about that rule and if you think we're ready for it, unless we're really grooming these tracks up.
A lot of it is the interpretation of the rule. People don't understand that your stance can be as long as you are tall. So let's say you wanted to lay down and you wanted to stretch your arms out in front of you, and suddenly you are now 6.5 feet long. That is the space you cleared out because you were originally thinking about taking that. But now you're just going to stand up on your feet like a normal person. And you didn't need quite that much space.
And to me, that feels like the pace of play there could kind of get slowed up a bit if we're really stretching ourselves in that way. But we'll see how things progress as we go.
Let's check out hole 5. Par 3, 363 feet. Last year we had a CTP on this one for a grill. We don't have any CTPs this year. But this is still a really incredible tunnel shot. It's really thin, it's really skinny. So as long as you can land somewhere right about here and give yourself a look at a putt, it feels good. Every time I play this hole, I'm not sure I've ever seen 3 drives or 4 drives actually all 4 of us get to the circle. It's a really tough tunnel to hit all the way down there, as demonstrated by Ohn.
Super hard hole to repeat, and I do have to do a little boast here that I am the owner of a grill from last year here, so that was pretty sweet.
You won the grill?
I was the first player to play it in MPO, first card out, first player to play the hole, and it stood all weekend somehow. It was crazy.
Well, I guess you're ultra sad we don't have a prize this year.
I know, I came, the tent was on the right, no grill on the right. I was kind of like, well, this hole looks different to me. It's not as bright and shining. It's a little more daunting.
So you can see two incredible players. Neither one of them have actually made it to the circle.
Whoa.
Katrina trying to with a super hyzer flip.
Oh my gosh,
Look
what a
at
masterful
that.
shot, you guys.
Loved it.
She plays knife hyzer with her understable disc that she could probably throw pretty easy rollers with, and really shows a ton of skill there. It's one of those holes, do you prefer to hit a gap on hyzer, or do you want to kind of rip it flat here? You really got to make sure you understand your strong suits on the gap like this.
This is Allen for birdie.
It's one of the few gaps on the course that's tight enough that, you know, if you don't hit it, you're not, as long as you get a couple seconds of flight, you're not kicking yourself too much. Just not able to get enough power coming out of this stuff there. Kristin lacking no power on that putt.
The putt is looking really good right now. Always think it's interesting to see who is straddle putting. You know, there was a time when Paige Pierce changed to a straddle putt. Catrina Allen's been there before. Kristin hasn't always straddle putted either, so it's neat to see everybody's evolution of their putt, and maybe one season you're a straddle putter and the next season you're a stagger stance. I mean, heck, sometimes you change every weekend. It's whatever's going in, right?
I think, yeah, it's good to have a little of both if you only do one.
Kyle Klein stepping up for the birdie on 18.
Your Open champion, Gannon Burr.
Another record-setting weekend on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Back-to-back weeks. Winner coming from the Chase card. Pretty special stuff. Gannon Burr, Kyle Klein, two young superstars on tour, showing you how to get it done.
All of us at Bushnell are excited to be here for the Champions Cup and very proud to have been a part of this since day one. We want to say thank you to the players and the fans for supporting the event and joining with us to push the sport forward.
We are back for hole 6. This is a par 3 at 300 feet that gives you two different options off the tee, left or right. The right side's definitely more open. It has less trees in the late part of the flight. The left side kind of has a little stand of guardians that even if you pure it, you kind of have to get fortunate around. This one's very unique. As far as you move left and as uphill as it is, you kind of have to play like an understable hyzer that flips up and pushes.
They've given the FPO division a shorter pin placement this year. In the past, it was, I want to say, about 380 uphill. Very hard birdie to get to. Now it is actually reachable. They've moved it to where I'd say the average FPO thrower lands with a distance shot.
Yeah, this was a great change here. I'm really glad to see that, because playing the same hole as MPO, like the guys have a tough time reaching this one, so it's just kind of doesn't seem right. I think this is going to be a much better stroke separator and still going to be a tough get.
Ooh, that looks perfect.
Oh yeah, stands that hyzer up. Uses gravity to keep her from going too long, and nice little birdie look from 20.
It's a long one for Gannon.
Yeah, it's a little undercommitted for Kristin. Maybe that kind of downslope and a long putt. Understanding it's also kind of a bonus birdie.
This is framed up well for Ohn. Nailed it.
Wow.
I'm glad the cameraman was in that position. Thanks, Conrad.
Yeah, getting Getting those kind of angles is huge. It's a lot easier to understand the challenge of the player at times based off of just a couple feet of difference in the camera. And man, Catrina just a little high with that down sloping putt. Flat ground, she probably cashed it. Three players with clean scorecards as of right now, and pars are always good mistakes. Missy looking to get that first birdie as well as Catrina.
Hole 7, another one of my favorite holes, par 4, 624 feet. It's a hyzer. It feels like you need to throw the disc with angle, but that's not necessarily true. The higher and the more angle, the more chance you have to end up left and in the middle. A flat shot that turns is better. That'll land you in a good position. That'll give you another choice up here into the green. You can cut through that middle stuff or send yourself another spike hyzer or even a flat shot that finishes left. Either way, this is really about positioning for the drive if you want any chance at all to sniff that birdie.
Now this tee shot, although it plays downhill whereas the last one played up, kind of reminds me of hole 6 in the way you need to like push up on that hyzer and flip it to straight versus just really have it dump out left. It's a great shot from Ohn. She should be able to access the gap to the basket.
That looks like it's going to end up in that middle section. Yeah, I mean, that's parable. You know, it's not bad, but that's not where you want to be if you're trying to get a birdie.
All of Kristin's bad shots, though, have been in places where she can swing her full body.
I know.
And that makes such a big difference on a course like this. Sometimes you can just be off by a couple less feet or a couple more feet, and your lies can be way worse.
Very common mistake. Missy threw her shot too far. It went into that background, hit the trees, and dropped down. You really got to get something that pushes that background and then starts to go left
That
right
looks
before you get to
really
it.
good, but just pushes the back wall.
Oh, I love
wow.
it. I love it.
That disc fought its way up the hill on the skip. That was a cool flight.
Yeah.
A lot of times that hillside will want to grab that disc and kind of move it down right, but it was kind of just hovering enough to where it kept fading.
Good shot shaping out of Missy.
Wow. Gorgeous turnover down to the bottom. She should have a wide open stab and a little handshake with Tom, caddy, and partner.
You can throw through this middle section, but the obvious largest fairway is the one that Missy and Kristin are taking.
Wow, impressive shot from Kristin from back there and favorable little kiss off the tree.
I mean, I told you couldn't get a 3 from there, but I forgot I was talking about the current world champion, so...
Different rules apply.
Yeah. Ohn was in the primo position. I mean, hey, it's a putt. Like a little bit closer.
Yeah, I really love this par 4. It's a hole that probably used to be brutal, but has really beaten into such a good hole.
It's time to get left now.
Catrina playing that same disc she played off the tee, and yeah, it's a good way to find a rhythm on a hole like this. Give herself another look for birdie.
This is Missy's 3rd shot.
Very runnable approach from down there. You really have a back slope that you can add some extra layer of commitment on a shot like this.
Birdie attempt for Kristin Tattar. Get in there. Very nice. Even after a short drive, landing in that middle section, and more of a scramble second shot, she still captured the birdie. Very impressive.
Yeah, especially down the hill with a straddle like that. It just takes so much good like finger pop. And there it is. Good clean release out of Catrina for that first birdie of the round.
That's a good birdie to get to.
No doubt.
Oh, don't do it to her.
Oh, it looked like it wanted to curl, and it's... Yeah, okay, finally. Wow, that one, hard to watch. This is probably the most slope green on the course, though.
Oh, man.
Happen.
Yeah. I wanted her to get that comeback. Missy with the par here on the 7th.
Now it's interesting to note that out here at WR Jackson we have 0 elevated baskets. First time we've seen that all year on tour. We rarely get to play a course anymore without at least 2 to 3 baskets raised. So kind of nice just to be putting on the same level target the whole time.
Missy and Kristin still out here blemish free.
As we approach hole 8, this is a par 5, very particular tee shot. At 645 feet, the distance isn't too much, but it is significantly uphill on that second shot, and it's hard to generate the power with your legs and get the timing right. At this range, you could maybe see some eagles on this one if the drive is really perfected, but the way you have to turn over the backhand, it almost has to fade like backwards to get to the landing zone. Forehand is very much in play though off the tee.
It's a great spot to be in. She bit off a lot of distance around that corner.
Catrina not putting too much in the legs there, just letting the downhill add some speed, and nice little curl back to be in a place with good footing. Missy with the rare forehand. That just shows you guys how tough the backhand is.
I was just thinking,
you're
like,
throwing
I'm
it
so,
there, right, Holly?
of course, I'm so
playing here?
surprised. A mirage. I just can't believe Catrina didn't do a backhand. She's so good at that turnover.
Yeah, it just feels like those backhand kicks just kind of go off to the left pretty far sometimes, and the forehand seems easy enough to put it at least to the corner. But the backhand is a beautiful shot to watch fly, and when you execute it, you feel great. Similar shot there to hole 1's approach, kind of that uphill run up, but a nice little flex line. Yeah, not quite the stand-up that Catrina needed off that disc.
Ohn's second shot. This is a par 5, and she's over halfway there. Kristin's in a primo position. If she could get it all the way up there.
It looks like she's right up there by that 300-foot marker. Very fun thing to note about this course, and a nice thing as a player is they have those ties on the trees. If you haven't noticed by now, there's a orange one, a yellow one, and a blue one at 400, 300, and 150 feet. Really nice for the players. Yeah, needed to kind of hang out a little wider there on more turnover angle. Played it a bit skinny on that one.
Ooh. Great shot out of Missy, especially holding that pose for so long.
Yeah, if you don't throw too many forehands, you're going to find yourself in a couple turnaround backhand shots to scramble and own with tough ground play there.
Ohn's getting some rollaways today. That's
coming in with that Firebird. Maybe could have played a slower disc, but pretty unfortunate to get that rollaway there.
This is Kristin Tattar for Eagle.
Oh my goodness. That is very deserving of our first run back of the round. Don't forget, if you're here in Appling watching the tournament in person, go check out Flight Factory's tent. They have some Ace Run Pro gear, so go get your gear, get out here, and sport it. And that branch just stole Ohn from matching Kristin's highlight putt.
Missy Gannon puts it in for par. I always forget this is a hole 5. For some reason, in my head, it's a 4. I walked away today and I was like, I didn't realize that was a 5. It feels like a generous 5 to me.
Yeah, I feel like as long as you don't mess up the tee shot, the birdie feels really easy for you guys.
Right.
You ladies. Here's a look at that score box. Kristin getting the blue. We like the blue squares.
The blue squares are rare. Here we are, hole 9, 510 feet, par 4. Off the tee, you've got some choices. The right gap is the most common and the most spacious. If you can get past this little road, that's prime position, landing right about here. That'll give you a short mid or putter up shot into the green, hopefully getting yourself a birdie 3. There can be some shot shaping coming into play on this hole if you land out of position. Very rarely see anyone take the left side on purpose.
Kristin first to tee after the only eagle on hole 8 today and puts this one well up there.
It's likely the longest tee shot I've ever seen on this hole.
Yeah, that's going to make this hole almost a cakewalk coming in. Probably that short harp forehand approach. Look for her to be in the bullseye. Catrina putting it not too far short of that. Down that same gap. Missy putting a little bit more flex on this one, but gets a good nose angle, allowing it to come back.
Missy past Catrina. Everybody well past this gravel road. Shout out to the crew out here for putting down that fine crushed gravel. It was a mud pit of a road, and now it's a really nice landing zone.
I keep thinking it looks like concrete and it's going to solidify on me one day. Ohn playing a rare flat shot out of the hand on a forehand and almost rings it up. I don't know if I've seen her throwing that angle really with her driver yet, and shows that she can throw flat, she can throw flex, it doesn't matter.
Catrina taking the largest gap on the right side, and she'll be up there with a drop-in birdie.
I wonder if Ohn caught a pine cone on that skip and if it changed her trajectory at all. Missy also playing that neutral putter hyzer shot down the right side. Well done.
Kristin just obliterated that tee shot.
And I wonder if Kristin went to that straddle stance on the forehand there to open the angle or to take the power off.
Yeah, I was
take the
wondering
hips
that.
out. The way she stood there could have been a way to kind of just take her legs out of it and allow her upper body to throw that short, touchy upshot. I'm trying to help teach you guys while you watch these awesome players.
Ooh, one left
Let's
for
go,
the
Missy.
star birdie. I'm not going to say it before the putt drops. Yeah! What a way. All birdies on hole 9. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before.
It's a good way to finish out that front 9. Missy picking up her first birdie. Kristin kind of slow at the start, but can I say quietly has a dangerous round going? Not quiet.
She just kind of snuck that eagle in at the last minute. No big deal. Let's check out this top 10. Teammate Kat Murch in second place. Haley King, Ohn, Holland Hanley all tied for third. Missy in ninth. Catrina tied with her in ninth. Macy, Rebecca, a couple of people have snuck up into the top 10. We appreciate you guys tuning in to this first round front 9 coverage of the first major of the year. We will be doing the back 9, so we hope to see y'all over there. And if you want to check out any of our socials, link in the description.
And actually, I just got news that on the 27th, my Tour Series Rivers will be dropping, so take a look at your favorite retailer and make sure to pick one up.